Hello everyone, welcome to Screen Scream. I'm Viola. Today's topic is exotic Asia, but it doesn't mean that all the movies I'm going to talk about today are Asian movies. But actually, one of them doesn't fit in this category, but I really don't know what umbrella topic can cover all of them. So we will talk one special movie and then three exotic Asian movies. Let's start with the special one. A Clockwork Orange. In a near-futuristic society, late-teen Alex DeLarge is the leader of a gang of thugs, his droogs, who commit acts of ultra-violence, often with sexual components, without any regard for their victims, and purely because it strikes their collective fancies. These acts are largely fueled by drug use. In addition, Alex is a lover of music, especially that of Ludwig van Beethoven, which, when he listens to it during these acts, intensifies his pleasure and in turn inspires him to commit further such acts. He does not tolerate any challenge to his leadership by his troops. Although the authorities in general know of Alex's delinquency, they have so far been unable to catch him in the act of his crimes. Until one night after a sexual assault of an older woman, Alex and Alex alone is charged, convicted, and incarcerated. But Alex sees what he believes is an easy way out when the government looks for subjects to participate in a new rehabilitation therapy, the end result being release from prison after the 2-week therapy. The therapy ends up having consequences that Alex did not envision. The questions become how Alex will function and how others will act toward him in his changed state.
Two young lovers found each other.
Wow, the introduction is so long. The first new movie we're going to talk about today is a classic re-release. Actually, I think it's more than classic, it's legendary. A Clockwork Orange was released in 1971. I wasn't even born back then. Even my mom was only 8 years old. But since the plot is very complicated, I decided to say more in the introduction so that you understand what this movie is about. As we heard in the introduction, Alex is the leader of the 4-people gang, and he has 2 extreme habits. One is like all the other gangsters, he likes to commit crimes, but the other is to listen to Beethoven. That's very unique and interesting. But one day he got arrested because of a murder. In order to lessen his punishment, he volunteers to participate in an experiment. And as a result, he becomes a model citizen, so totally different from what he was. Since the movie talks about using drugs, killing people, committing crimes, it was one of the movies that couldn't be released at the theater when it was released. Back in 1971, the society was still pretty traditional, so I don't think they can accept concepts like this. But A Clockwork Orange really is one of the most important movies in the history. If you tell people that you love movies, this is one of the movies that you definitely need to watch before you die. But I have to admit first that I haven't seen it. I hope one day, or maybe I can take this chance that it's re-released to watch it. It's one of the signature works of director Stanley Kubrick. It talks about how society can change our mindset and how the government can operate its citizens and how scary it is. If you're a fan of director Stanley Kubrick, now you have the chance to enjoy A Clockwork Orange once again. And there's more to come. Director's Space Odyssey is going to be re-released in September as well. That one I have seen because I like sci-fi myself and I really like that movie. So if you want to experience the charisma of director Stanley Kubrick, this is the best chance for you to experience his magic. Now it's time for some exotic Asia movies. One Piece film, Bread. Uta, the most beloved singer in the world. Her voice, which she sings with while concealing her true identity, has been described as otherworldly. She will appear in public for the first time at a live concert, as the venue fills with all kinds of Uta fans, excited pirates, the Navy watching closely, and the Straw Hats led by Luffy, who simply came to enjoy her sonorous performance. The voice that the whole world has been waiting for is about to resound. The story begins with the shocking fact that she is Shank's daughter. The second new movie we're going to talk about today is a Japanese anime, the film version of One Piece. Actually, I haven't seen One Piece myself yet, but one of my friends who's a big fan of One Piece told me that if I'm a Marvel fan and I love how every character is connected with each other, I will probably love One Piece. But the reason why I haven't started it yet is because there are too many episodes, and if I didn't start when it first started the episodes, I don't really want to catch it right now. Maybe after it's finished and I think it's doable, finishable, if that makes sense, then I probably will watch it. But there are a lot of fans of One Piece in the world, and 2022 marks the 25th anniversary of One Piece, and this is the 15th film version of it. The author of the manga is the producer of this movie, and the director was the one who directed the very first theater version of One Piece. The plot is going to be different from the TV series. This film version is brand new and individual, and there's going to be a new character. That is the character we heard in the introduction, Uta. Uta has this otherworldly, beautiful voice, and so at her concert, there are fans around the globe, including the excited pirates and navy. The whole world is looking for her voice. But the story is going to start with the shocking news that Uta is the daughter of Shank. I don't really know who Shank is, but if you are a One Piece fan or you are interested in this film version, you probably will know who that is, and that will lead to a lot of shocking stories. So Uta is the most important mysterious key character in this episode. Her hair is half white and half red. She also has wings. She wears headsets all the time. Uta in Japanese means songs, since the character is said as the best singer in the world. And the official Mandarin name is also called Beautiful Voice. So you can imagine that the music and songs in this episode are going to be very amazing. If you like One Piece, or you just want to enjoy how beautiful Japanese anime can be, you can go watch One Piece film Red this weekend. Now, before we move on to Top 007, let's review what we had from last week first. And I can tell you that this week's chart looks very different. Top 3 from last week, Thor, Love and Thunder. Top 2 was Top Gun, Maverick. And Top 1, Minions, The Rise of Gru. So first of all, let's see what we have from Top 7 to Top 4. Top 6, Thor, Love and Thunder.
He went from dead bod to good bod. And after all that...
Top 5, Emergency Declaration.
나는 여기 비행기에 탄 사람들이 전부 죽었으면 좋겠어요.
Top 4, Top Gun, Maverick.
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell. Let me be perfectly blunt. You are not my first choice.
Wow, only 3 movies from Top 7 to Top 4 this week, so we can tell that it's going to be a little bit crowded later. And both Thor and Top Gun dropped from Top 3 this week. But I guess it's obvious which movie I'm going to talk about, because we've talked about Thor and Top Gun for so many weeks. Today, I want to talk about Emergency Declaration. It's a Korean movie, so it fits our topic today, Exotic Asia. Emergency Declaration is the very first aviation disaster movie that South Korea has ever made. So the crew spent much effort to create realistic sets. For example, they not only used the real handler like the real airplane, they also imported the shooting airplane from Hollywood. And the whole art team created the realistic airplane sets together. Even though I don't think anyone would feel scared after watching Emergency Declaration. I remember one of my teachers once said that you won't be afraid of taking roller coasters after you watch Final Destination, but you won't even dare to take a shower when you stay at home alone if you've seen a ghost movie. So the difference between a horror and a thriller is that even though it happens in a real life situation, you probably won't be paranoia. Actually, disaster movies have been very popular in the world, but Emergency Declaration not only describes the passengers on the plane who actually experienced the disaster, but also depicts how people on the ground feel, including the family members of the passengers, people around them, and the whole society. So if you are interested in Korean movie or you like disaster movies, Emergency Declaration would be a proper choice for you. Time really flies. Here's the last section of this episode. Let's listen to this week's top 3 to top 1. Top 3. DC League of Super Pets.
I have an owner, and he's Superman.
Let me just iron that.
Minions, The Rise of Gru.
Alright, I'm not Minnie.
Top 2. Nope.
What if I told you that today?
Top 1. Bully Train.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me. Because if you put peace out in the world?
Yes, as expected, it's a little bit crowded in this section. And I think it's also obvious which movie I'm going to talk about, because only Bully Train hasn't been discussed yet. I mentioned last week that I have seen Bully Train myself, so I have a lot to talk about. First of all, I'd like to tell you that I'm a big fan of Brad Pitt. I think I probably have seen all of his movies. I'm not sure about the older ones, but I've tried very hard to watch them whenever they're on TV. So the first day when Bully Train was released, I went to watch it. You may wonder, wait, Bully Train is a movie made by Brad Pitt? Then how is it Exotic Asia? That's right, you got the point. Because Bully Train is adapted from a Japanese novel, and so the whole story, the background, is set in Tokyo and Kyoto. And there are characters who are Japanese. So basically, the whole movie is very Asian. After watching it, I have to say that I like it, but I didn't give it a pretty high score because while you're watching, you still have a lot of chances to say, wait, what the hell? But that's what action comedy is, isn't it? What I like about it is how all the characters are related. But I think the pity is that when a clue appears, you know it's going to pay off as a bookend. So it's not really mysterious. You're not solving a case. You're just experiencing this crazy case with Brad Pitt. But if the audience can guess everything, well, almost everything, I have to admit that there's still something that's out of expectation. But most of them are easily predicted, then there's no fun. Even though I didn't give it a pretty high score, whenever people ask me about it, I will recommend people to watch it because it's enjoyable. You get to laugh out loud. Oh, because the humor inside is dark humor. And almost every character is a killer, an assassin. So basically, the style of the movie is similar to that of director Quentin Tarantino's. So if you're a person who doesn't like gruesome movies, you may feel a little bit uncomfortable watching Bully Train, but it's not very uncomfortable. I'm not a person who loves to watch blood in movies either. But I can take Bully Train. Bully Train is totally fine. So I think, basically, if you're Brad Pitt's fan just like me, or you like dark humor, or action comedy, or you just want to enjoy 2 relaxing hours, Bully Train would be a great choice for you. And that's all the time we have for today. Hope you liked the show this week. And remember to tune in same time next week at Screen Scream. I'm Viola. See you next time!